Chapter 7: Expectations, Fear and Inequality. Part 1: Real estate, not truly scarce, but made to appear that way. Real estate is often seen as one of the world's most valuable and scarce assets. But is it really scarce? Statistically, the answer is no. Out of the planet's 149 million square kilometers of land, only about 1–2% is actually urbanized. In the US, just 3% of the country's land is used for cities. In Canada, it's even less, only 0.7%. Australia sits at 0.3%. And in Europe, with its dense population, urban land still makes up just about 4% of the total area. There's also a huge amount of vacant housing. The US has over 16 million empty homes. Canada has 1.2 million. Australia, around 1 million. Europe, over 11 million. In Spain, more than 13% of homes sit empty. So why do prices keep rising? Because the financial system needs them to. In the US, mortgage debt now totals $12 trillion. That debt is a major part of banks' balance sheets. If home prices fall, even by 20%, banks face a wave of bad loans. In 2008, when US home prices dropped 30%, 8 million families lost their homes. Entire financial institutions collapsed. Part 2: The productivity gap. When assets replace wages. Housing inflation isn't just about speculation. It reflects a deeper shift, where people rely on assets, not wages, for financial stability. Between 2000 and 2023, home prices in the US rose by 150%. Incomes? Only 30%. A house that cost $200,000 in 2000 might be $500,000 today. But the salary that was $50,000 back then, it's now only around $65,000. So a 1% gain in home value, $5,000, is nearly 10% of someone's annual income. That means owning property matters more than working. And this isn't just the US. In Canada, Australia, and parts of Europe, home prices have outpaced wages by massive margins. Even as people work harder and produce more, their pay doesn't keep up. In the US, labor productivity jumped 62% from 1979 to 2022. But wages? They rose only 17%. As the gap grows, people cling to real estate. It becomes not just shelter, but a financial lifeline. Part 3: Unequal money distribution. Wealth accumulates at the top. Land may be abundant, but money? Not so much. When central banks print trillions, that money doesn't flow equally. It moves first into the hands of those already wealthy, through stock markets, real estate, and corporate assets. In 2021, during the COVID-19 pandemic, the US Federal Reserve injected $4 trillion into the system. Stocks surged, housing boomed, the S&P 500 rose 16%, home prices jumped 18%. Jeff Bezos saw his wealth grow from $113 billion to $180 billion in a year. Meanwhile, most people got a one-time stimulus check, $1,200. But rents went up, food costs rose, and their wages barely moved. The wealthy invested their new gains into more assets, driving prices even higher. In Vancouver, home prices rose 45% between 2020 and 2022. In Sydney, 35%. Much of that growth was driven by luxury buyers, often speculating, not living. Part 4: Fear of missing out. The pressure to borrow. In this environment, fear starts to take over. People see prices rising and they panic. They fear being locked out forever. So they borrow, just to get in. Buy now or miss the train. This isn't irrational. It's survival. Because if you wait, your savings can't catch up. Your salary stays the same while prices run ahead. So people stretch their credit. They take on 30-year mortgages, They invest in second homes, even if it means financial stress. Banks love this. Debt becomes the foundation of stability. Asset bubbles are propped up by expectations, and fear keeps the cycle alive. Part 5. Inequality isn't a flaw, it's a feature. In theory, the financial system is neutral. Anyone can participate. But in practice, it rewards those who already have capital. If you own a home, the system gives you leverage. If you don't, it gives you fear. Inequality keeps people striving, hoping, competing. And from the system's perspective, that's useful. It drives demand. It keeps prices rising. It fuels growth, at least on the surface. But underneath, it erodes social cohesion. It separates generations. It turns homes into battlegrounds, where every purchase is a calculation of survival.